I'm sorry, but how good were those titles? Like, that's the first time I've seen that, and I've just been sat here fanboying out at these titles. Joseph Thorpe, you absolute legend. Yeah. Round of
Really,
applause.
Very good.
Indeed.
Very good. Little golf clap for you there.
Yeah.
I'm floored. It feels like a lot to live up to. That's that's a big opening.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Prepare to be disappointed, everyone.
Welcome to the moment immediately past the peak for Dragon Wing. I am your GM, Dan Berman, and this is a special collaboration that we've got with the wonderful people at Sword and Board. Anyone who has been on the Sabotage the DM stream will know them as Stuart and Benj. Stuart has appeared many times in multiple different streams, most recently as Barbara. I'm not going to do it justice. It was the Loxodon line dancing
Librarian barbarian.
Yes, it was so good, so good. And Benj obviously does our maps for TPK, live updating them as we go, as we carve through them. And had a lovely chat with Benj actually, and he hadn't seen the most recent Baba Yaga TPK. Said he's looking forward to watching it and then updating through all the carnage. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out on VOD. It was a war. You should probably allocate about half a day because we went on long. It was a big old war of attrition. But I've talked at you for a fair amount. Let's meet our team. Starting with let's start with the master of titles and graphics. It's Mr. Joseph Thorpe. How's it going? I saw your face in real life today.
I know. I saw your legs, mate.
We've got legs.
But yeah, I'm really well. I'm really good. I'm here in my new abode down in Brighton, and it is wonderful, and I absolutely love it. Apart from an alarm that goes off at like 3 a.m. outside my house, but you know, seaside, get away with it.
Seaside.
Rob's plan worked, mate. Got it installed just before they arrived.
But yeah, I'm really well, thank you, mate. And it was lovely to see you today as well, and see Rob as well.
I know, we got to do hugs and things. It was great. So tell us a little bit about your character. Who are you playing today?
Okay, I'm playing Nanny Grimm today, and she is a Hexblood moon druid. So I'm kind of going for a bit of a witchy theme, but she's incredibly old, bad hearing, and likes turning into different beasts. Really, is kind of her main deal at the moment. But yes, I think she's quite fun. I think she doesn't quite remember ever being a captain. I think that she still thinks herself as being like a private or something. I don't even know if she remembers joining the army in the first place. But she's lovely, and just don't take any apples from her because you'll probably die.
Okay, good to know. And taking this conversation, I was going to ask you for Nanny Grimm to tell us, but taking this a little bit above table, seeing as Nanny Grimm probably doesn't remember. How did Nanny Grimm become a captain? How did they become a decorated officer?
Well, I think it happened when I started to make Sunday dinner. Now, you understand about Sunday dinner is that you have to start with the vegetables. And then when the vegetables come in, you can kind of start putting it all together in the pan. And that's essentially how I start becoming an officer. And then from there, she just, made stuffing. And then suddenly she was commanding troops and she had no idea why. And she won a few battles and she just had a bit of good luck along the way.
Amazing, and I can completely understand where how this character is going to succeed, because after about 2.5 sentences through that, I wanted to polymorph myself.
The problem was literally Rob played my character last TPK, and I was like, originally I was going to make her a spore druid, and I was like, it's going to be too much like Podo, so I'm going to have to change it a little bit.
Oh God, yeah, Grandpa Podo and Nanny Grimm.
Yeah, they would have been great power couple.
This is coming for 2022. We're going to have...
You're going to have to get the dead Kamari out of the way. Cats have 9 lives, Joe. He's not done with Podo, really.
That's true. I think it's more that Kamari hasn't been done with Nanny Grimm, I think. More like it.
I guess it's true. There's always room for more love in life. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I want to hear more of that beautiful caramelly voice. Please, Philly, introduce yourself. Speak to the peeps.
Oh my gosh, it's me. I'm DM Philly. I'm Rich Filiberto. I love the Dungeons and Dragons and the tabletop role playing. Today, I am playing Sir Pinch Poppy Bloom, Swordmaster of the Green, Warden of the Menhir Circles of Faerun. I am a fairy paladin hexblade, which seems inordinately complicated, but I do have a magnificent pair of wings, and I think that very likely that's what brought me to the life of a dragon wing captain. I think that one day, upon looking up to the sky, the sight of flying fortresses, what more could allure a tiny, hedonistic, bloodthirsty fairy with shadow blades? And so I believe that with a deep swig of his flask, he flew to the clouds, and the rest clearly was history. Dinner and captains.
I'm so excited for this hedonistic, bloodthirsty fairy. Yeah, 3 are my favorite words. Don't usually see them in one sentence, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
It's a convergence of sorts. I'm like so excited. I can't wait.
And in what way is this character linked to Wanda?
I think just very tangentially. I think that Wanda is deeply affiliated with the druids of the Ewerwood on the eastern side of the Sea of Fallen Stars in Faerun, and the Menhir circles of the crossroads that allow transit through the ley lines across the realms of Faerun are guarded by many sorts. And so whether Wanda knows about Pinch Poppy Bloom explicitly, he certainly knows of them.
Do you know what? There's so much lore, Philly, that in your, rich experience of being a DM that I just take it in and I'm like, God, I don't know too much about these things, being reasonably new to the game, but God, I could just listen to this guy speak forever.
That's good, because you got me for a few hours today at least. So
yeah. And this is two in a row that I've managed to bring Philly in as the forever DM in as a player. I think Daz has already done it because Daz is an amazing mod, but yeah, please do check out DM Philly if you are not one of the Philly fam who are here to watch and support. Check them out, doing loads of amazing D&D content. Let's move over to Jess Lawler. How is it going? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm very, very good. Yeah. How are you guys?
Very, very good. It's good to have you back. When did we last have you, Jess?
Oh, it was a TPK. Yeah, it was about last month or so.
Oh yeah, the Beholder. We had the Beholder.
I banished the Beholder. Didn't know that there was rules that I couldn't banish it. I was like, no.
That's such an amazing story, TPK, there with you. Not only did you banish it, you then brought back a major imaged Beholder and had it fight itself for a little while.
Yeah, it made it very stupid. Made it look very, very stupid for a good 10 minutes.
And tell us a little bit about your character, who you playing.
So I'm playing Carver Yajaret. Likes to go by her surname, Yajaret. And she is a dragonborn, a blue one, and is a Tempest cleric as well.
Amazing. And how did you become a captain?
Oh, so Kara worked her way through the ranks from the very small, back streets of the city, and grew up in and around that, and then made her way through, essentially. She saw people just taken to the skies every now and then, and was just like, I want to be like that. I'm kind of part dragon after all. I should be able to fly. So that is her goal, really, just being closer to her god, and one day she will fly amongst her brethren.
I love it. And you also have a Twitch channel too, or you have a channel that you contribute to?
Slice and Dice. We're a little bit in a hiatus at the moment. My DM is in Egypt right now. Oh. Yeah. So, but yeah, normally, yeah, Slice and Dice Twitch channel.
Check them out, and thank you very much for joining us and coming back. Jess is another fellow fight director. That's what we found out last time, wasn't it? With the Beholder thing, we had 3 fight directors playing magic casters, and therefore couldn't describe any of the martial stuff. And now
it's all finger pointing, really. We don't really even use technical terms. We just kind of go, we do this and this and this and this, and then we all know what it means.
Yeah, it's like the stage combat equivalent of tappa 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 from The Simpsons.
Yes.
And I tried to do it beforehand. I tried to save him from the mouthful, but now he's got another one. How is it going, Rob Thompson?
Come at me, bro. I got a bowl. I got a real nice concoction of food here in front of me. I got some of these sour squeegee things. They look like erasers or rubbers, but they taste so good. I've also got a bowl full of mixture of chipsticks, salt and vinegar. You know, the real good acidic kind. The ones that feel like they're burning a hole through the back of your mouth. Oh, I love that. Love that. And then beneath it, I've got some Red Hot Flaming Cheetos. Oh, they're like crack for me. Honest to God. So whatever happens this evening, I'm going to be content, is what I'm saying. You know, life doesn't get much better than this. I've got some Somerset cider. Do you know what? You just carry on. I'm just here for the lights, you know? I'm just here for the twinklies.
If you would like to join Rob Thompson's ASMR channel and watch him eat a succession of crunchy snacks, please head over to www.asmrobthompson.com.
You know, you joke, but I wake up and I think I hear your voice doing that in my head, being like, "Get up, Rob. It's time to go. People want to hear you eat chipsticks." And I go, "Yeah, they do." And then I walk around life.
Joe, it worked. We managed to put the speaker into his house without him knowing. This is great.
This is great news.
Rob, I'm going to give you the choice. Do you want to tell us about your character or not?
I'm going to say this and nothing more. Gratham, who is a warforged armorer artificer, was built as a last resort. And I don't mean like the last holiday you'll ever take. Kind of. I kind of mean that. But yeah, a last resort. He's what happens when shit goes down.
Ooh, I like it. We just had a Stu in the chat saying ASMR. Bah.
Oh, bah.
Yeah.
ASMR.
As I see, we've got quite a lot of new people in the chat. I would no doubt that a lot of them are the Philly fam because they always like to come in and represent. But if you are new to the channel, please do say hello in the chat if you would like. We love a lurker. We do enjoy a lurker as well, but if you feel like having a little chat with the people, you can see we've got a very, very lovely community. Some of the players will be chatting as well. And be lovely to see you. Oh, come on, chat. What does Gratham stand for? Daz has asked. So maybe we'll get some good. Maybe we'll get in the first half, and then maybe after the break, you can let everyone know.
That sounds good to me. Yeah. You run with your acronyms, team, and I'll tell you what it actually stands for.
Amazing. Do we have anything else that we want to say before we go and do a D&D? Nope. Oh, right on a note. That was great.
Yeah, that was some timing right there. Wow.
All right, then. Let us play Dragonwing. We see a blurry first-person POV as an unknown man opens their eyes. Their movements and breathing are erratic and panicked as the vista in front of them begins to clarify. Despite being in the middle of the day, everything we can see is shrouded in shadow, almost as if the sun is being blocked out itself. He looks to the right, billowing smoke from a nearby building. A place to worship Pelor, the Dawnfather, now in ruins and in danger of collapsing. The view returns to the road, still POV, as he heads to run as best he can. Breathing and movement are laboured. We see glimpses of destruction littering the roads as he runs. Various cries and shouts ring out from all directions, some calling for help, others calling the names of loved ones. His pace increases. We hear the occasional moan of pain as his injured body struggles against the additional strain of the speed. At the end of the road, there is a military building, with one side completely missing. Soldiers mobilizing to try and provide some aid to this crisis. Our man pushes through the crowds, ignoring the shouts of warning from soldiers and medics, in through the giant chasm on the east side of the building and up a flight of stairs into the office. As he reaches the office, a violent coughing fit takes over him. We see the floor come into view as he doubles over in great pain, his hands blocking our vision as he raises them to his face. When the coughing subsides, he pauses to look at the fresh, bloody mucus that now peppers his hands. He doesn't have much time. He drags himself over to a large chest, fumbles with the lock, and once open, desperately searches through its contents. His breathing is becoming shallower, and our view is beginning to vignette as the edges darken. Just as our man finds what he has been searching for, there is a sudden explosion, and our view goes black, and all is still. Time has passed. Could be minutes, could be days, but we hear the sound of ringing ears and tinnitus, and slowly the eyes open again. Now only we hear the occasional wheeze as his body desperately tries to stay alive. Our view falls backwards as his head lolls back. The roof of the building is gone now, and the light is returning. We see the final edges of a vast airborne craft before it disappears behind thick storm clouds. As our vision clouds once more, we see an object pull into view. The object our man raced into the building to find. The object he risked his life for. A sending stone. The stone takes up nearly all of our view now, as the man tries desperately to speak into it. He can utter only 2 words. Dooms. Shadow. Before he can hold on no longer, and his eyes fix as we fade to white. Now I can't hear the music, so if it hasn't stopped, please can you move on to the second track, Joe? Nanny Grimm, Sir Pinch, Yard Jarrett, you are stood to attention before Colonel Lindenberg, a decorated military figure and comrade of years. For some of you, decades. Behind his aging yet stout dragonborn frame stands an enormous hulking mechanical creature. At ease, captains. As you've seen, on the horizon, we've got one massive son of a bitch heading our way. Intel informs us that it's the Doom's shadow. Ordinarily, the lumbering giants aboard that ship wouldn't be stupid enough to come into our territory, which suggests that cultists have taken control of that hunk of rock for their own twisted purposes. Given your expertise, you know the destructive firepower that a ship of that magnitude can cause. So your mission is to bring it to the ground by any means necessary. Now, this is no ordinary mission, so I'll be providing you with some additional firepower. Behind me is a gift from the good people down in the tech support department. You may call them Gratum. Captain Grimm, as the officer with the most experience on this mission, Gratum will be assigned to you. Now, you have 3 possible routes of approach. Decide between yourselves which you'll be taking. Time is of the essence. It'll be a few hours before it reaches us, and if you don't bring this down, then the entire realm is at risk. May Pelor have mercy on your souls. Is there anything you would like to say before I give you the 3 options? Oh, a solemn silence falls over the group.
Commander, I would just like to say, I feel truly privileged and blessed to be given the opportunity to wreak havoc and untold destruction upon our enemies on this day. I could not imagine being assembled with a better group of compatriots. For death, for glory, and for the light, my friends.
I think Nanny Grimm pulls out this gnarled box, opens up the box, and as she opens it, you see inside there are 3 like dusty cigars, and she rolls them across the table as they kind of one lands in front of Pinch and one lands in front of Carver, and she takes the last one. Old as my blouse, and she pops it in her pocket.
And the Colonel Lindenberg, just looks proudly over you. The 3 of you who have been through so many battles together, who have won so many skirmishes, have countless medals between all of you, and just looks over and says, "Be sure to smoke one for me when it is done." So, let's talk about strategies, team. We have 3 possible strategies. We have strategy A, the stealthy version, also known in the module as the solid snake. We have the strategy. Now, I'm going to say right now that I did have a guess as to where you might go with this. I'm gonna see if it comes to fruition. Strategy B, the measured approach, the Sun Tzu. Or strategy C, the mixer, also known as the Leroy Jenkins. I'm going to leave it to you lot to discuss.
Carver, I don't know if you have some guidance from above that might help us out a bit.
Carver's going to close her eyes and then appeal to Sylvanus, her god that she follows, and ask him which way that he'd like her to go.
Paint me a word picture as to how this ritual goes down.
She holds her pendant and she just kind of closes her eyes and digs in deep in towards herself.
Yeah, that was a dice, guys. I just rolled a dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carver, you never were the most subtle. Give him hell, is what you hear.
So Carver just is very still for a moment and just looks directly into Grimm's eyes. Option C.
You see her one purple eye and one green eye, sort of her eyes wide and open. She goes, and she sort of cackles into the room.
I think as your eyes open wide like that, suddenly the giant hulking beast behind the eyes go wide as well as the head sort of raises. And almost as in a display of being synced to you, Captain Grimm, kind of lets out as close approximation of that cackle as they possibly can.
Loading. Beginning. Downloading history core. And these two bright aquamarine lights start to fill the inside of this heavy brow as Gratham's head mechanically moves up to a looking position of name. May I have your name?
Well, I'm Nanny Grimm. Oh, Captain.
My history protocol dictates that you are a captain. Captain Grimm.
Yes.
I am at your service.
Oh, my.
I am Gratum, guest relations and threat elimination machine. May I offer you a beverage?
Oh, that would be jolly nice, wouldn't it? Anybody else want a gin? And he sort of looks around the table.
Gin. A liquor that was commonly used in the 1800s that caused quite a destruction in a particular area. Gin. Would you like it mixed or just on its own?
Oh, just on its own is fine.
And two glasses just pop out beneath the ribcage, and a third extends beyond it as Gratham gets his hand and his fingers just start to pour a pre-mixed cocktail of gin and ice and a hint of salt. Here you are. Do you need any laundry doing?
Oh, he kind of looks around the group. I did mine this morning, but I want to see if anyone else needs their bit of clothes cleaning.
I am at your service.
If possible, I'd like to reserve the laundry for after the mayhem and the killing.
Downloading history core. Captain Poppy Bloom. May I aid you in anything?
I feel like there's a great deal yet to unfold, and I'm certain that I would call on you for it at some point, but I mean, right now, I'm quite enjoying the reflection of my own face and yours. It's really quite a thing, to be honest.
Once the laundry is folded, it cannot be unfolded. Ha, ha, ha. Jokes. Downloading jokes.
That's... Yeah, they gave you a robot, Granny. This is magnificent. Yeah, my gin. I prefer to bring my own beverage.
I think he reaches into the folds of his vest and he takes out like an infinitesimally small flask, spiraling it open to take a deep sip.
Maple syrup. Dark amber grade.
Oh my.
Now, Dan is absolutely here for this. However, Colonel Lindenberg is like, make haste, captains. The doom awaits.
Oh, it certainly does. Little do they know. To war?
Kara brings her big mace over her shoulders and be like, I'll have my whiskey to go then.
Oh.
Captain Kava, of course. And the gin that was put out retracts back, and another one pops out that has a kind of golden amber color to it. Here you are. May I shine your mace for you?
No, unless you don't want a face. She takes it and starts walking out the room.
Nuance. Downloading nuance.
So, as you all lead on, you're taken to the back of this giant Skycastle that you have called home, the Storm Chaser, and you're led out onto this landing platform where there are two young copper dragons and one still young copper dragon, but it's almost like they've had some sort of reinforcement put around the haunches to deal with someone as heavy as Gratum. I'm also feeling really bad because I was trying to think, okay, Gratum is a drinks making machine. So we've got gin, rum, ale, tequila. Couldn't think of an E. If you can in the chat, think of an E and an M, please put me out of my misery. So we're going for the Leroy Jenkins, are we, team?
Yes.
Lovely.
The simplest approach is often best.
He was a great hero to my people.
Oh, so as you all mount the young copper dragons, who sort of goes where? So we've got two. I'm presuming sort of. Well, no, you tell me. How do we have Gratum on the bigger one, and then how do you sit on the other two, team? Anyone take a solo?
I feel like Gratum is actually held by the claws. That he just tease it.
of each of them, yeah.
I think Nanny would join somebody because then she could get comfortable and have a little nap.
I'm tiny and deferential to other fey creatures, Hexblood Nanny. So I think that Pinch is like,
Absolutely, Daddy. I'll take the wheel. Ray's like the dragon.
That's very kind of you. As she pulls out her big tartan blanket, and by the time it's landed on her knees, she's.
And the colonel approaches and sort of sees that Nanny's asleep and doesn't want to wake her, so speaks in even more hushed tones than before and says, "I've had the privilege of sending you into battle for many years now. Each of you have selflessly put your lives on the line for the sake of those who alone cannot stand up against the tyranny we face. Stories will be told of your bravery on this day, and your names will adorn the halls of heroes. With haste, captains." And descending down on the backs of your dragon companions, you approach the dreaded Doom's shadow. Now, before we get there are consequences to the choice that you just made.
No
So
consequences.
I would like.
may I interject with as we leap off, I think that you see Pinch, he drops his hand forward and this kind of shadow coalesces out of his hand. I think there's this wash of his eyes go pure black for a minute, and this glimmering lance, orange, the color of maple leaves in the fall, emerges as he leans over the neck of this enormous dragon with Granny sleeping behind him. Please assault us with consequences, Dungeon Master.
Well, I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna ask you to roll 2d10, please, Philly.
2d10. My
2d10.
word. All right, 2d10 has been rolled. I rolled a 7 and a 5.
7 and a 5. Oh, okay. So what happens when you roll a 5? As you're flying through, you're sort of so carefully looking after Nanny Grimm, you don't see throughout this epic dragon on dragon battle which you are starting to fly through, you don't see the tail whip of a dragon, which we are going to go with 16. Does a 16 hit?
My armor class is 17. That hits.
No, if
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you said 18. Yeah, 17. Amazing. 17.
You duck out of the way just in time to see a javelin come in, and it flies straight past and actually takes out another enemy dragon straight next to you. You are too slippery, you are too chivalrous, and you, Sir Pinch, are doing fairly well. Nanny Grimm, I would like you to roll 2d10, please. Even from being asleep.
2d10. Rolling. I got a 10 and a 5.
A 10 and a 5. Well, do you know what? That 5 would have been another tail whip, but I'm saying because of that nat 1, that dragon that flew in that was going to tail whip you got taken out by the other dragon rider's javelin, and there is no effect. However, as you're asleep, can you make a charisma check?
Oh, no. Okay, let's have a look. Charisma check or save?
Charisma check.
Okay, just straight charisma. Okay.
No.
Ooh, 7.
Oh, there's a moment where...
Hold on. Flash of genius.
Which adds how many?
5.
5. As you're lying there, there's this bright light that's coming towards you, and it just about looks like it's going to wash over you, and then it disappears from sight, and you carry on snoring. Carver, can I have 2d10, please?
You may.
An 8 and a 4. Ooh, okay. So the Storm Chaser Chaplain pulls alongside you and provides you with a charm of feather falling, which I believe if you search in the eye, you will be able to find. Let me just check. Oh no, it's not on there.
I believe I remember what it is.
Dungeon Master's Guide 228. I don't have that book. I'm going to say you can cast. Roll a d4 for me, please. Oh yeah, I'm going to say you can cast Featherfall 4 times without using spell slots today. And
Very nice.
You rolled an 8. See, not all of these are bad, peeps. Not all of these are bad.
Sorry, Joe.
Also receive roll another d4. What have you got? You call that out for 3. You've done very well. You've
All the praying.
all the praying, absolutely. You also receive a charm of heroism, which has 3 charges.
Nice.
And last but by no means least, Gratum.
Let's do this.
8 and a 5. 8 and a 5. Okay, 1d4, please.
3.
3. So that's 3. A 3 charge. What's it called? Charm of heroism as well. So you got 3 charges for yourself. All the heroism today. However, as that gets placed into your hand, there is another tail whip. Oh, bad rolls. Bad rolls. Does a 14 hit? No, you're an artificer.
Not even close.
Not even close. It just, I'm imagining you sort of look at the thing and you're so focused on it that sort of the camera we see.
Downloading failure.
Oh, amazing! Well, that was after I was a bit worried. It was slightly hairy there with those first 2 from Philly, but we did all right in the end, peeps. We did all right in the end, and I'm just seeing where is it that you guys end because of your Leroy Jenkins. You end up. Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm even checking because. Oh, hang on.
I think Pinch is like really choked up on this dragon, like way up near the head, like screaming like a wild man, hair in the wind, wings like fluttering behind him with this lance, like trying wildly, yanking at these reins with this like infinitesimally feeble strength, trying to steer this dragon to no avail. This is pure exuberation.
It's almost like when you pass a computer games control to your younger sibling and convince person that they're playing the game with you. You're like,
definitely
you're almost there
not
with like
plugged in. Yeah.
you're almost like there with hairs on the two ears or something like that, and the dragon's just like, oh, that's cute. Takes you down to the very edge of. Actually, Joe, can we switch screens, please? As we head over onto the western side for a full-on assault of the Doom's shadow. Can everybody see okay? Yeah, can all players see what they should be seeing? Wonderful.
Oh, so I do have Devil Sight. I don't know if that's loaded in.
Oh, what does that do? Tell me
I have
more.
120-foot vision. Hold on, let me actually just dump it in the chat for you. But I could see through actual magical darkness and such. 120-foot range.
Okay.
Very obnoxious.
Okay. All right. Let's add you a little bit of here. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. You should be see a little bit more. So probably what I'm guessing. Well, you tell the rest of the group what you can see. Report back to your group.
Yeah. So I think that Pinch is like wheeling around, like
Captain Carver! Nanny!
he's shaking ground.
We have enemies at all sides. 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Which one's over here on the right? That way, to the right also as well. I'm seeing ballistas, siege weapons, some manner of scintillating orbs. Magic, perhaps. There's an entryway just in front of us.
All right. And she sort of just like shakes her ear a little bit and pulls out
Randy.
a lump of wax about the size of your, like a cork. And pops it out. All right then. Time to attack, I suppose.
Would you like me to eliminate the threats, Captain Grimm?
Oh, that would be lovely, thank you.
And can I just ask, Sir Pinch, how loudly did you shout that?
Oh, not that loudly. I actually am a creature of great subtlety and stealth. So I think it's very much like whispering in a tiny, quiet voice. Like, to the left. I don't want to give the audience total obnoxious whisper peeping, and I'm like,
To the left, to the right, at the 3 o'clock on the right.
All right, that's
Maximum
good.
proceed. Maximum carnage.
I love this point so much. Let's
So
all
good.
roll initiative, shall we, everyone? As the guards spot you and begin to attack. If you want to, when you get a minute, Joe, feel free to bring us over to the battle music.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Nanny Grimm. In with a crit.
Nanny Grid in with the crit. Amazing. Are we all in?
I think so, yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Let's assault a Skycastle, everyone.
Yeah.
Nanny Grimm, it's your turn.
Oh my. Alright, so Nanny Grimm's gonna look to the others. And she's first just gonna say, give him out. Alright. And then she starts sort of moving towards the I suppose there's some guards I think she can see from where she is. So I think she's gonna move over to here first. Let's get up there. Oh my, okay, and she spots a very large looking gentleman. And I think what she's going to do actually is, when you don't expect to go first and then you end up going first.
problem.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. So she looks at them and she pulls out this like tiny little bell, and she sort of like brings it out, looks over at them, and goes bong, and then she goes bong and like explodes in this sound of Toll the Dead. She's gonna just quickly send that over. So that would be a wisdom saving throw.
Lovely. 14.
Great, so that's a fail. So they're gonna take
Just the one, right?
just the one.
One creature you can see within range.
Yeah. So it's just for the large-looking fella.
Okay. Sorry. Then I misunderstood. I rolled for the guards instead.
Okay.
That's even worse.
Even worse.
Rolling like shit.
Okay, so it's 2d8. I think I need to send you. So let's do that quickly.
8.
Great. Roll. They take as this sort of sound blows up in their ears. It's sort of they sort of take this sort of dark energy. And what they hear is sort of as they whisper around them, who's the prettiest of them all? As it kind of like swings around their heads, and they take the necrotic energy.
Oh yeah, it's sort of they're stood there and they suddenly like snarl up and look directly at you, Nanny, as sort of slightly wincing as you can see that this loud sound has gone through their ears.
And then
Just looks.
She's going to pull out her old walking stick, old Norman, and she swings it and turns it in her fingers and slams it down on the ground as she casts Shillelagh as a bonus.
Oh, very nice. You don't need anything from me for Shillelagh, it just buffs you, doesn't it?
Yeah, just it means I think I can use my wisdom modifier instead of strength when I use it
Nice.
to attack.
Very
Danny
nice.
boy,
Yes.
can I ask something from you as well? Could you give me 60 feet of dark vision as well?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
And that, I think, is Nanny's go.
Lovely.
Thanks, pal.
Okay, so the guards are gonna come in. One to here, one to here. These two. I'm gonna just do guards all together. I'm not gonna put individual guards into the turn order. So the one on the left attacks two-handed with advantage. 17
Yep, that hits.
for 2 piercing damage.
Oof.
Be afraid.
Yeah, this old woman gets punched across the side of her face with a spear.
Yeah, I'm imagining like sort of goes to drive through, misses you, and then just goes dunk with the back of it. As the other one comes in also for 19.
Yeah, that hits for sure.
For 3.
Oof. Oof.
You're in trouble now, Nanny
I
Grimm.
am. I think they kind of like come through one of her chicken wings, but like her skin is so like thin that when it goes through, it sort of tears a little bit and it just sort of drops onto the ground.
Oh, Nanny.
Nanny, I've gone and made myself a mischief.
Oh no, what have you done? These two are going to come in and see the group over here. Actually, it's only really let's bring this one into here. So these two are going to come in with their as if they're going to charge into Nanny Grimm, see the rest of you on the side, and immediately start flinging. And we're going to have one in the direction of Sir Pinch and one in the direction of Gratum. 18 on Sir Pinch. Yeah. For 7.
Ooh.
You feed.
And then one for Gratum, 18.
Not even close.
I think they sort of see that and they're like, huh. Very, yeah, not a fan of that. The ones over here, seeing that bounce off you, are going to charge up this ballista and aim it at you. It's one action to move, it's one action to fire, and one action to reload. So that's 3 of them. Ballista, 25 to hit.
That does hit, yeah.
For 9 piercing damage.
Are they just like conventional ballista bolts? Did Gratum just get like tagged with like a caber toss here? Is that what happened?
Yeah, there's nothing magical about them. It's just a big old bit of metal. And then the fourth one is going to pull back and reload the ballista again. And that is the guard's turn. Now we have the Draconic Brute, which the Draconic Brute is actually a creature created entirely by Sword and Board for this adventure. So thank you very much, Benj and Stu, for giving me this great hulking brute. Oh, this is fun. Having kind of only read it for the first time. And the brute is going to, with a charge attack, charge at both Nanny Grimm and the two guards. So I would like a DC 16 dexterity throw, please.
Oh, this is going to be good. Dexterity save or?
Dexterity save, sorry, yeah.
Cool. Oh.
Flash of Genius.
Oh, nice. A Flash of Genius on top.
Yeah.
That'll make it 16, exactly.
Okay, so you still take the damage. Take the 13 damage.
Mm-hmm.
But you are not knocked prone.
Okay.
The two guards either side of you explode. As the brute just looks down and seethes at you. Sir Pinch Poppy Bloom, how would you like to respond?
Yeah, I think as this like big heaving brute comes like screaming out at Granny, he's just like, not my Granny, you heathen dog! And he comes like flying over here behind it, right? I have a fly speed of 40, so I think I'm like 10 feet up in the air. I come like wheeling over him and around from behind with the lance still, and I'm just like, ah! Like diving down to like harpoon him in the back. Oh wait a minute, I gotta use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith. Like, and I think we see this like radiant, almost like stained glass window kind of shield flare in front of him, and then go almost like translucent as he wheels around behind this thing with the lance.
Amazing. Let's see it.
You know what? I'm going to stay actually over Granny because I think I don't get flanking and with reach. So 14, is that it?
14 does not hit.
Right. So he just like taking it back, like punches again. He's like kind of zooming and like darting around, just like stabs down again at it. 19.
19 does hit, yes.
Right. So that's going to be 6 points of piercing damage. And I think, screw it. Like, I didn't come here just to look good. I'm going to pop off with a divine smite. Let's give him like a second level smite. Is he fiendish? He's not a fiend or undead, right?
I believe not. No, he's not.
Okay, right. So I think you see this like radiant like explosion almost, this like scintillating rainbow energy kind of like spirals down the length of this like orange lance exploding. So that's 12 points of radiant damage, 6 piercing, 18 total. That's my turn.
Oh, as
hovering over Granny Grim like, don't forget my fairy dust, Granny! Keeping her in my aura of protection.
I'm imagining that you're almost like a living embodiment of a Kamehameha, and we just see this like ball of energy just with a stinger out, just coming through. And as the lance comes in and the radiant light immerses around this brute, you see him start to wince for a second as you realise you have bloodied this giant beast. Which brings us to Carver. Your turn.
So what I didn't know about dragonborns is that they don't have dark vision.
Oh no.
Okay, so Carver can't really see anything right now, other than Gratum by her side.
May I assist you at all?
Do you have any lights?
Please hold.
I am going to remind you we're in turn order.
Yeah, this is true.
Back on.
Okay, so what she's gonna do is possibly a little bit stupid because she hasn't got any sight, but she has hearing, so she's gonna cast Gust of Wind in the direction of where she knows everybody's going to be.
Okay. Would you like to move first?
Yes, just a little bit more that way, I guess.
Okay. Have you got control over your token?
Yes, she's moved.
Amazing. So gust of wind, straight line from you. Okay, each figure. Okay, strength saving throw from the draconic brute. Then, can you see the draconic brute yet?
No.
Oh, the draconic brute fails his save. Push 15 feet away from you in a line, so it goes back to there. Spend 2 feet of movement for every... So it's like difficult terrain now. Mm-hmm. Okay, very, very nice. Would you like to do anything else?
Just shout out, like, any kind of light would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
On it, Captain!
Is that your turn cover?
Yeah.
Amazing. Just wind into the dark. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Gratum, sorry.
Gratum looks over towards the brute, and you see like a kind of line go over his eye as he scans it up and down. The threat seems to be being taken care of, as he turns towards the other 2 guards. Hello, you are bothering the guests. As he...
Love the guest relations part.
He approaches the 2 of them. I'm afraid I am going to have to ask you to leave this plane of existence. Ha ha ha. As he's gonna thunder gauntlet them both in the face, both double whammy. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
He's got extra attack, so he's gonna go for the first one. 18.
18 hits.
Great. Second one, 19. Booyah.
19 hits. Yeah.
Right. So they both are gonna have disadvantage on any other targets, should they survive this 10 and 7 thunder damage.
Ooh, they're not looking good.
I will not ask you again.
Is that your turn?
No, I'm going to go bonus action. I'm going to use defensive field. So as a bonus action, I can gain temporary hit points equal to my level in this class. So if I'm level 10, does that mean level in this class is 7 or 10?
Is 10, because I think it's if you were to do like a certain number of artificer and then like maybe 4 in cleric, then you'd only get like the 6 in artificer. But because you're not a dirty multiclasser, then you are.
Yeah.
Then it's all 10.
The big 1-0.
Yeah, the big 1-0.
Stinking. Love it.
Yeah.
Right, cool. And that is Gratum. Now, since we do have a light situation, how do you feel about me just permanently changing one of my cantrips to light instead? That's not. I'm going to lose one of the good cantrips, but I'll do it for the sake of the team.
I'll allow it.
Cool. Right. Good. Right. I can't do that. I can't do anything for you now. Right now, Jess. But maybe next one.
Thank you.
Lovely. As we go back to the top of the round, Nanny Grimm.
As you see Nanny Grimm, she sort of like plucks a hair from her head. She like spins it and pulls the tooth out and turns it and like puts the hair around the tooth. She says, ivory tooth, flesh and bone, turn this old witch into stone. And she's going to wild shape into a stone elemental.
You did it now, buddy.
Have a look, see if I can get the token up. Oh, I do think I can.
A stone? Is it not an earth elemental?
Earth elemental, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, she could turn into earth elemental.
Mental. Okay. All the things.
Alright,
There. Oh. Here.
Wait.
You got him?
Yep.
So you're over to there, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
And I'm gonna stomp forward over to this dude, and I'm gonna beat the hell out of him.
Nice, go for it.
Let's have a look. So I'm gonna make 2 slam attacks.
Okay, amazing. Can I hear Nanny Grimm's voice in Earth Elemental form, please?
I think.
I do it you real hard, I think.
And she goes for 1 slam, and the second slam 16.
Both hit.
Okay, and it goes for a total of 31 bludgeoning damage.
Nanny Grimm, stop it and tell me what that looks like.
I think it's literally just these 2 hands. It's like boom on top of the head, and the feet go in about a foot, and then the other one comes down, boom, and it's just splat. This is just this like red skin and blood all over the place. And she sort of turns around to the ballista crew and goes,
Got rid of the biggie one, now it's time to get used.
and she sort of like points over at them.
I am
Oh, you
unsure
guys
why
are
my
so
services
screwed.
were required.
Wow, yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, is that your turn, Nanny Grimm?
I think that's all I can do, yeah.
Amazing. So the guards are terrified. These 2 realise they have no choice but to continually attack. They know that if they run, they are dead. So they're going to take. Actually, they're going to try and give themselves a little bit of a fighting chance. One's going to flip round, do like a little bit of a shoulder roll with their spear for some flanking.
And Grant's head, as it's doing it, just like keeps swiveling in place, back and forward.
Rolls an 11.
Fuck off, like, no chance. You're not.
And a 19.
No, fuck off. No, it's not happening. He's got his hand on both of their heads as they're like wildly swinging for his body.
but doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, 3 with the ballistas. So it's already moved. So we've got 1 firing at Grassam with the ballista, 25 to hit.
25 hits. Yeah.
14 piercing damage.
It's all right with me.
1 then reloads, and then we have another one go at Grassam for 22.
Miss. Fuck yeah.
Miss. Wow. And the final one is going to reload as their action and also call out, just shout, "We're under attack!" And that's their turn. Draconic Brute is dead. And so we go to Sir Pinch.
Oh boy. Okay. I think that he like turns looking back at this ballista crew. They seem to be a problem. And so I think flying over Captain Carver, he's like,
I'm on that light. Just 1 minute. I'm sorry about this.
and you just hear like as he like sails over your head over to here, and I think that like one hand comes loose, he like tucks the lance up underneath himself and just I think I'm gonna fire a couple of eldritch blasts at these idiots back here. I know not what else to do. Yeah.
I'm just getting flashbacks of when you went full-blown monk with Karjit, and you're like, I'm going to go to here, then I'm going to here, then I'm going to up. It was like Spider-Man. Yes, throw me some Eldritch Blasts.
Those extra 3 levels went a long way last week. So Eldritch Blast for front left here. 25.
Oh, yeah, hits.
For 4 points of force damage, not much. And I think like a second one like fires out again. And I think that they're like these like rainbow streaking like kind of beams with this black like shadow in the center of them almost. 18
hits.
For another 4. That's 8 points of force damage all day. That's my movement. That's my action. No bonus action. Yeah, we'll hang out.
That guy's looking wrecked, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Still
you
standing.
can run now, or you could let me finish this, fool.
As we move on to Kava. Oh, can't hear you.
Saying dragons out of the egg, they know we're here.
Nice.
Okay. So my character sheet's in the way of that thing, so I did not see that. So yeah, I can see something.
Hooray.
Okay. Yay! Okay, so we're gonna move across here, and then we are going to cast Call Lightning, I believe.
Okay.
I think that reaches.
Okay. To where?
Love it.
Yeah. Perfect. There.
Amazing. Can you put Core Lightning into the chat for me so I can see what it does?
It destroys the ballista, is
Oopsie.
what it does. Ballistas can't do deck saves.
Ballistas can't do deck saves. I need that on a t-shirt. A point, shape of cylinder is 10 feet tall and 60-foot radius. Hang on. Oh, a bolt of lightning flashes down each creature within 5 feet. So can you show me exactly where you put it? Is it with a? Can you do a ping? You just like press and hold, click and hold.
Hold on a sec. So we're gonna go for this dude. No, it doesn't want me to.
Okay, are we here?
Yeah, there.
Amazing. I'm gonna need some help from the committee. How many hit points do we think a ballista has?
3.
That.
I
About,
reckon 22.
22?
Yeah, it's only wooden, right? It's just a wooden rickety old thing.
Yeah. Okay, so how much is half on a? Yeah, you know what? Like, so in fact, tell me what this looks like, Jess, as you take out the 2 guards and the ballista.
So as she's casting the spell, lightning's pouring out of her mouth at the same time as her mace. So she points it to the sky and it just goes.
Oh, yes. As these 2 on the left and the ballista are taken out. What are we doing? We're not doing that. We're not putting them on the map player. Putting there. There we go. I can't do an X on the ballista because it's drawn onto the map rather beautifully by Benjamin Randall, might I say. Is that your turn? Do you have a bonus action?
If they can see her from that direction, she's just gonna be staring at the last 2 remaining and expanding the lightning in her mouth.
I'm going to say that they don't have dark vision, so they literally just this lightning bolt comes out of nowhere, and then we just see it appear again threateningly in the background.
I'll take it.
Gratum.
You are disrupting the fun. As he tries to then go for another double whammy with them.
Yeah, go for it.
Dibbity double whammy.
Dibbity double dam dabbity dam dam.
I love this guy.
Ooh,
Great priorities.
You can take a shot at me if you want with that nat 1.
Oh yeah. I think we're going to need all the help we can get. So I think. Oh
Miss.
yeah,
That's off,
17.
yeah. Right, number 2. 26.
Yeah. Which one are you going for? Northeast or southwest?
Whoever took the 10 damage last time.
Okay, cool. And
12 thunder damage.
just tell me what that looks like.
The one that he's facing, and his hand just crushes the skull until there's just like you know when you get like aluminum foil or like aluminium tin foil, and you just like it gets really big, and then you just crush it until it's like a tiny little hard little ball. He just crushes it, and then his head turns a full 180 degrees and goes, Zzz. I will deal with you next. Please wait until I am ready.
Oh, terrifying. Wow, you just turned that guy's head into a crisp packet badge from the oven, just completely shriveled into tininess. Wow, okay.
Can I actually pluck it off? Because I want to use it for something later.
Of course you can.
Right,
Please add it to your inventory.
Then I'm gonna, as bonus, can I keep doing this as bonus? You can use this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Yeah, I got 4 proficiency bonus. Right, I'm doing defensive shield again and adding another 10 to my 10 hit points.
They don't stack, I don't think.
Well, I lost it, so.
Why'd you lose it?
Oh,
from the ballista.
From the ballista.
Yeah, of course, of course. So I'm surprised I fucking hit you. Yeah. Yeah. So who was it who said in the chat?
Strong now.
Who is it that? Yeah. Who is it? Josh. Yes. 22 does miss. Yeah. 22 does not hit. So yeah, add those temporary hit points as your bonus as we move on to Nanny Grimm.
Yeah, so I think the earth elemental just got to go and crushes down into the earth, burrows and pops up next to this dude over here.
Okay.
He's like,
yep. Sure.
looks over and goes,
Hello, my darling.
and then goes in for a smack, with advantage, I believe.
Yeah, with advantage.
But a slam, 16.
16 meets it hits.
Okay, for 15 bludgeoning damage.
Oh yeah, tell me how you absolutely cream this.
I think it's with Gratham. I think as Gratham sort of goes in and misses them, sort of like their hand's still there, and so she just squashes their head against his hand like a high five.
High five.
That's amazing.
And then I'm going to stand on him as well, and my extra 5 feet of movement. It's all intimidation tactics. This is how Nanny Grimm won all those battles, was just through intimidation.
Just pure intimidation. Well, it works because on the guard's turn, they do a full dash. You see them run off into the northern chamber, and you just hear the footprints disappear. As we're gonna come out of turn order there. As it falls silent again, you've seen these 2 guards disappear off to the north. You know you've made ground on the skyship, but you need to bring it down, team. How do you bring down a skyship? And I think with that, we're going to take a little break there because we're at 8:50, the time that we normally take a little break. I hope you're enjoying it at home. I hope Stu and Benj is everything that you were hoping for and more. We will have a little 5-10 minute break, grab yourself a cup of tea, stroke a cat, go to the toilet, have some more crack crisps or whatever it was, or squidgy sweets.
Crack crisps.
Crack crisps.
Can't get enough of those crack crisps.
Or you can also pop over to swordandboard.co.uk and check out not only this adventure, but the other adventures they've got available as well. Because these are all available for you to download. So if you want to run this yourself, pop over to swordandboard.co.uk as well.
Amazing. Right. We will see you in about 5-10 minutes. Big love. Let's take down an airship. Bye. welcome back to Dragon Wing. So, interesting thing. I tried my hardest not to be so stringent today with this module. Normally I write myself a big script, I write everything down in my own words. And this time I didn't do that. And I was like, I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants. That's cool. And what I did in the process was give everyone very, very OP charms. So we've just had a little chat and we're just going to have a little retcon. And anyone who got a charm of heroism or a charm of featherfall, that is a single use rather than 4 uses as I gave before. But thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your lovely words that you're giving me in the chat. Thank you for your lovely words that you're giving me outside of the chat. Just got a lovely WhatsApp from Benj saying some very nice things. Let's go straight back in, shall we? As the dust settles on your battle, several soldiers and a draconic brute lie dead at your feet. And to the north of you, you start to hear preparation rallying up. What would you like to do?
I think Pinch reaches into his saddlebag, extracting a candle, and he snaps his fingers, lighting it real quick, and would hand it to Captain Carver.
Your light.
Amazing.
Yay! Thank you.
It's just a candle, and ridiculously small as it like illuminates 5 feet. But I think he would turn, like looking to the others, like
I follow your expertise.
Are there any like necklaces or anything on the dead body in front of me, or like a badge or anything like that?
As in like some military insignia?
Just something that is like wearable on them. Small,
Make
preferably.
an investigation check.
Oh, I didn't want you to ask me that. No, piss on my chips.
I think there is one, and you go to pick it up, but you're so used to crushing things that you like pick up some dog tags and hold them in your hand, and as you open them up, they're just like mangled.
Oh. And he looks to Captain Carver. Do you have any items of jewelry that I may use for a moment?
Just covers over her pendant. No.
Granny's just gonna pull out a tooth and hand it over to Graham.
Make a lovely brooch, that will.
And it's practically like just a stone at the moment because it's actually she's still the elemental.
And Graham holds it in between his fingers, and then from his wrist a little slot opens and a tiny scuttling mechanical robot, like a kind of firefly, runs out and clasps on to the tooth as he casts light on the tooth and the brooch. So 20 feet light for you to wear for the next hour.
Aww.
Here you
Probably
are.
much better than the candle.
Yes, my system indicates the candle is not an appropriate thing for you to see with. Please use this instead.
Is that bright light or low light from the light cantrip?
20 feet of light, bright light, and then 20 feet of low light, I think, extended on top of that. I think it's like a 40. Is that correct?
It is bright light 20 foot and dim light for an additional 20 foot. Yep.
Nice. Okay, so now you basically have a torch. You have a dragonborn torch.
So as that light comes up, and I think after Sir Pinch says those words about the size of the lights, Granny's going to say,
It don't matter what size of light that you hold for your bravery and your courage. You hold it strong. You hold it fast. And we attack.
she like turns.
In terms of visibility, the light would matter quite significantly, Captain Grimm.
Graham,
Yes, Captain Grimm.
shut up.
He.
And his mouth just like, and bars come out of his mouth.
Oh no. Oh no.
Shut
What
Rob
would
Thompson up. I don't know.
No, you shut Grata up.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true. And this kind of like massive, like huge boulder arm just sort of points forward towards where the sound of the preparations are coming from.
I think Peach's hand shrinks down into like a curving longsword that he like slips in by his side too. As yeah, he looks.
Shall we proceed?
Onward you go. It's coming from, if anyone can see my ping, it's coming from over here.
All right.
It's coming from the east.
All right. Let's make our way that with them.
So who we got? So Sir Pinch makes the way.
Yeah, I would try to proceed out at the edge in like the dim light, moving like in stealth. I think that as he starts to like fly away from the group, you see his eyes kind of like go black and shadowy. I think like the iridescent like stained glass wings proceed to like go gray and white and almost like monotone as he like shifts into this little like almost like ripped away Peter Pan's kind of shadow. And yeah, he's gonna like go into stealth mode here and like break out at the edge of the group.
Amazing. Roll a stealth check for me.
Sure. Dice rolls are scary, Dan.
I mean, you just gave me a wonderful description and then just said, as I go into stealth mode. Like, what am I doing?
11.
Amazing. I think as you make your way forward, can you see into the room? Can you see into the room to the north with your epic vision for days?
Slips around the edge and yes, he can. He sees many soldiers.
Oh, you see many soldiers to the end?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the room inside is almost silent with the exception of the preparations. But yeah, you've got a big 70-foot open hall in front of you. They're not gonna be able to see it that distance, so I'm not gonna roll a perception check. What would you like to do, Sir Pinch?
Yeah, I think turning back to the others, there's like a very sophisticated series of hand gestures. He's like flashing numbers at you, you know? He like brings the sword down and points down the hallway. Soldiers. A veritable array of them. They don't look like much.
They look like a massacre to me.
Too long. Has my blade been dry, Granny?
It's just like dirt and mud. It's sort of falling from a giant mouth.
And Granny is talking primordial at you and somehow like it just that Fey connection is keeping you two together.
I love it. Stuart in the chat. Are we baddies?
Are we? My blade hasn't been wet in 18 seconds. What would you like to do, team?
Let's go say hello.
All right, if you'd like to move yourselves in the directions.
I'm kind of turning.
Presuming you can all see now. This big hulking. I think as you get to here, I'd like you all to make group stealth checks.
No, Granny's not being in stealth.
Oh, okay, not going to bother? You're going to go full frontal assault?
Yep.
Carver doesn't do stealth.
All right.
Yeah, got him neither.
I think Pinch is trying to stealth. He tries to like zoom into the room, like out of line of sight or whatever, as like these three hulking, like, you know, he's like just zipping around for whatever it's worth. Yep.
Lovely. I'd say you're hidden with that stealth check if you want to splinter off from the group. Can the rest of you now see the soldiers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, they're gonna see you, and they're going to take up some cover before we hit initiative. Actually, no. Why are they going forwards? They're going to go backwards. They are shit scared of you, crazy peeps. Should we roll initiative again, everybody? Thank you, Joe. Straight in on the battle music.
That one.
Oh yeah, the Earth Elementals.
Oh no, sorry, that's wrong. It should be with my other. It should be with Granny's statistics. Hang on. That one. Yeah, it's a 5.
Ooh. Better.
Smashed it. You just hear, "Make ready, man! Make ready!" As the guards take their turn. And it's now onto cover.
Fabulous. So, oh, where'd it go? Hold on. I had a spell, and now I can't remember where it's gone.
Uh-oh. Lost
spell. Lost spell.
What are you munching on now, Rob Thompson?
Is he into those
McDonald's.
crack chips?
McDonald's!
Oh!
No.
You've had your crack starter and now you're on with on your Mickey D's. Amazing. Other burgers
Amazing.
in inverted commas are available.
So,
There's that voice I
Bounce
wake
now.
up to again.
Carver, your spell.
so she's just gonna dump ice storm in the center of everything.
Put it in the chat. 300 feet, 20-foot radius, 40-foot high. Wow. Wow. Do we have area of effects here? No, we do not.
Give me a second.
But are you going to drop them in, Joe?
Yeah, what size is it?
20-foot radius, so it's everyone, I think.
Quick look. Sorry, I'm remembering what game to be best to jump onto.
I mean, it's a 20-foot radius, so I can very easily say that's comfortably everyone.
20 foot.
Because 20-foot radius is a 40-foot circle. Yeah.
Square. 20 foot
I'm gonna
radius. There we are. Oh. Put that in there. Okay, you should have it now. There it is.
Lovely. Do you want to highlight it over all the guards for me if you can see them?
Yeah, give me a second. I think you can assign that to Jess if you wanted to, or do you want me to do it? Okay, there it is.
You're going to assign it to Jess for me? Or are you going to move
I
it?
don't think I can because I'm not under the GM on this one.
All right, I'm going to move it to here. There we go. So it's going to take out everyone. So you need Dex saving throws from everyone.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be a massacre. All right. Okay. Cool. There's more rolls happening. 1, 2. How many are there? 6, 3, 4. I think there's 5. Yeah, there is 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they didn't do too badly. So there's two that passed. I'm gonna say the two stood together at the back passed, and then the rest failed. So they take, what is it, on a failed save, half as much. All right, cool. So tell me what that looks like, Jess, as you take out 3 of these guards.
My word.
Once again, her eyes are glowing a bright blue, and as she calls forth, just instant snow and ice.
Instant snow and ice as it settles, and hailstones as they fall down from the sky in a huge cone of, or a huge cylinder of insta blizzard. What are we on? 17. Half of 17 is 8. Okay, so you can just, as this drops down, you hear what you think is creaking, possibly the creaking of bones. Whereas actually what it is it's the chattering of 2 sets of teeth as the 2 guards at the back are just desperately cold and barely hanging on. Is that your? Is that everything? Would you like to use a bonus action? Would you like to cause more damage?
She's just gonna walk a bit forward, see what happens, see what they do.
Okay. Like to bring yourself your full movement. Nothing happens at this point because not everyone has a 300-foot range, Jess. Gratum, you've just seen a big cylinder of blizzards fly through and eviscerate a lot of people. What would you like to do?
As like a little object interaction, is going to use his magical tinkering to just touch the floor in front of Nanny Grimm, and a couple words just write out in his voice. Please be so kind to let me know when I am able to speak again. Yours truly and faithfully, Gratham. And then you hear like a slight rumbling and mechanized noise in his feet as he just goes and starts and little rockets come out of the bottom of his soles of his shoes as he just kind of takes off and hovers 5 feet into the air, and then he's going to dash. He's going to fly dash 60 feet towards them.
You can fly?
Yeah, winged boots, baby. You can't stop me. Winged boots.
Sweet. Okay, where are you dashing to? Show me.
Here.
Amazing.
Welcome to the skies, my chromatic friend.
I'm not even going to try and hit you there because there's so much cover. Even if I could hit you with, it's just not worth it. I don't think I probably could, even if I hit a natural 20. So yeah, they're just going to be there chattering away. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's me.
Amazing. Sir Pinch. You've just seen another bolt of light, much like yourself, just go through the center, although somewhat bigger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, quite. I stand a whopping 23 and a half inches tall. I think sailing rapidly through the air. I'm going to come flying in just above the Warforged here. I see no one, and I'm greatly dismayed. And I think that I just merely cry out you can run, but you can't hide. And I will come sailing up into this room. I'm gonna dash. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bonus action Misty Step right up here to the top of the stairs, turning to look down at them oh, I found you.
Does that take into account that radius is difficult terrain? I guess if you're Misty Stepping, it doesn't matter.
I'm flying.
Oh yeah, of course you are.
Above the air. My little black and white wings like a blur. And I think I turn looking at them hair black, face white washed out, eyes pure black, I found you, and I I leap down at them with the longsword two-handed. That was my movement. That was my bonus action. Here's my action, 2 attacks. Ooh, critical one.
Yeah, I don't think they can attack you from there. Otherwise, they would. That's a miss.
Right, and then just again, 23.
Yeah, that hits.
For 8 points of slashing damage. Is he still up? You know what the hell?
On the left or the right?
I'm burning another spell slot for Divine Smite. I have no idea how long we'll be here. So yeah. Kill everything. So that's 14 points of damage as there's I think this explosion of black light energy. You just see Pinch glowing in the doorway like a Led Zeppelin poster from 1978 that's my turn.
And tell me what that looks like, bearing in mind that the blow from the sword itself just killed this guy outright anyway, and then you smite the smite came afterwards. Paint me a word picture. How did that look?
Yeah, I think it's just some Raiders of the Lost. He staggers backwards, the face melting as I turn to look at his friend, your turn. That's it.
I love this guy, but he's so terrifying. Is that your turn, Sir Pinch? Amazing.
That is my turn, yes.
Nanny Grimm.
Yes, I think the earth elemental is going to fall back into the earth again. And then it's going to dash as well underneath. So they just see, like, those mole? Like the mole, you just see like a mound. Because it sort of like starts crumbling towards. Pops up next to Gratum. As it sort of comes up couch. And says, what is this?
What was it you said again?
And she sort of like does this with her ear in a way of trying to see if he'll get him to talk.
And one of the bars just slowly retracts into the mouth again. But he doesn't want to go full pelt into it because he's not sure.
Okay. That's my turn, I think, yeah.
Okay, so we go back round to the guard. The final guard just there clutching his spear, freezing cold, looking at this like tiny shadow hell demon, like, and just sort of points to the back of the room. He's like, trapdoor, I'm sorry, please, just let me go, oh, please. Oh, I'm 2 days from retirement. I want to be a pianist.
I want to be a pianist. Kill him. Murder him.
Break his fingers.
I think I'm given the opportunity to say, music is a true celebration of life, and you should rejoice, for you're still alive at this moment, my friend.
Yeah.
That's the guard's turn. He's there just cowering. It's now Carver's turn.
Yeah, Carver's just gonna keep going forward. She can't see where this guy is right now. She's just like, "Hey guys."
Okay, don't forget the yellow is difficult terrain, so it takes double your movement.
Mm-hmm. I could just cancel out the spell.
You could.
Yeah, do that.
Would you like to do that? Amazing.
Yes. No one's coming back alive.
Great. Carry on. Best flex ever. All right. So what do you do next? So you've got your. So you can move forward. You can cancel the spell. You don't have to take an action to cancel the spell, do you?
No.
No. I'll just say you just drop it.
Yeah, you'll choose to lose
Yeah,
concentration.
just drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Then just use and the action to go extra further.
Yeah, dash.
Yes.
Dash.
Fabulous. Dash. Fabulous.
Although I quite like you should replace dash for just further.
Extra further? I'd like to go extra further, please.
Extra further?
Can I go extra further, please? All right. Yeah, so you're taking
Dash sounds too urgent.
She just wants to go extra further.
Saunter
Go a bit.
for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, little saunter. All right. Would you like to do anything else?
No, I'm all good.
Amazing. So that brings us to Gratum.
I'm moving.
All right. I think I can still hear. Still here.
Where is that guard? The live one.
He's cowering.
He's cowering off to my right over here.
It's fucking annoying that I'm gonna have to dash to get to him.
I thought you were going to say it's annoying that we have to kill this poor pitiless soul before he can redeem himself in this life, but these things happen.
And because Gratum can't speak right now, he just looks at you with two burning aquamarine eyes, and then one of them that just flashes red, and then it goes back to blue again.
Uh-oh.
He just wants to be a pianist.
He's gonna dash the rest of the way, and he's just gonna be physically fucking intimidating, I think. And just get to here. Where was he? There? Is he dead? Oh, he's there. Yeah. I'll get to there, right on top of his mate. Ah, fuck yeah. And he's just gonna bend down close to the guard, and the two of his other mouth, like poles will retract, and he'll just whisper very closely, "I'm not allowed to speak to you, but I will do it anyway, because you won't be able to tell anyone soon."
Ooh, secrets.
Secrets.
These distinguished military heroes.
I'm the protocol, baby. I'm the protocol. Oh, baby.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I can't bonus action do anything. So yeah, that's me. Oh, he better not squeal.
It's just absolute, just there, stood up at you, just, just terrified, as we then go to Sir Pinch Poppy Bloom.
Oh, it's my turn again, huh?
It is your turn again.
I think that I look at him and I'm like,
I've taken vows to kindle the light in all things, and I greatly appreciate music, but unfortunately, I don't think they programmed a robot with compassion.
and I think like turning back to the others, like, there's a trapdoor under the statue. And I'll like fly over to the statue where I don't think that I could probably do anything because I'm very tiny. And so can I try to like knock the statue over with leverage as I grab its head and like smash into it with the shoulder?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure. Okay.
Make an athletics check.
Let's. Nine. I'm going to
say you take a real big, like, screech back and, like, come all the way forward with all of your might, like, go to shoulder it, and it just sort of, you just deflect, like the guy who jumped off the Titanic and hit the propeller, just like...
It's like a car hitting a windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but what
you just hear this faintest, like...
Yeah.
I'm just flying to the window.
But the momentum sort of takes you over to about here, and you realise that there's a trapdoor just kind of behind that pillar bit there.
It's right out here.
I think that I would descend into the trapdoor and like just go to like the length of my movement. That would probably be my turn. Yeah.
Amazing. I'll allow it because we're going to be out of turn order in 2 shakes of an earth elemental, I think. So yeah, Sir Pinch disappears into the trapdoor. Interesting story. The trapdoor was there all the time on the map, and I've found this little statue-y thing just to put over the top of it because I didn't want you guys to just go, there's a trapdoor there.
I love that virtual tape. It's awesome.
Earth Elemental, it is your turn.
Okay.
And you thought we'd go to the trapdoor without killing everyone in the room first. Is that what you thought was going to happen?
I don't know, man.
Ooh. They're going to move to here first. They see this massive hammer on the ground.
Yeah.
Can I go over to the I'm going to go over. Can I look at that massive hammer?
Yeah, you can.
Can I have it?
I'll give you a make a religion check.
Okay. Where am I thinking? Bunnies. Religion. There we pop. 28.
Oh, very good. So you realise that this is the demigoddess Diencastra. And sort of searching around, you realise that the head has been taken. I'll allow you a proper research of that if you don't already know the name of the goddess, because I can't help you any more than that because I don't know any more of the lore. Yeah, it's been desecrated. You understand that this is they've probably been desecrated by the forces that are currently holding the Doom's Shadow. So they've desecrated the giant goddess.
So I think she turns to Carver and just says,
"It looked like desecration, my love."
Oh, I think I've read this wrong. Hang on. Which room are we in? Oh yeah, sorry, I've read the completely wrong room. So this is a temple of Stronmouse, which has been desecrated.
Whoa. Then I really do turn to Carver and say that. And like,
brace yourself, my love.
as he sort of like steps aside to reveal to Carver the absolute desecration of Strongmouth.
Oh shit! This guard is so fucked.
She's going to look at the guy who's still alive. Well.
You know what? Let's come out of turn order. Tell me what happens.
Sacred flame the bastard.
Like a two-pronged attack on it.
He fails his dexterity save, so please tell me what this looks like.
Yeah, so it's as she turns to look at the guy, her eyes go bright blue, and he is engulfed in a flame matching it, and he's just melting and screaming in agony.
Oh.
I think.
Oh. God.
I think Nanny Grimm's gonna stand and watch. And I think sort of like we're used to this, and we sort of stand and we all watch him burn.
Until all screams are silent.
And then I think Pinch pops his head back up like,
Did I miss it? I'm sorry. Hello to you in the afterlife, fool.
Gradam's hand is gonna like go like and change into like a small hoover and just hoover up all the ashes of the only thing that contained his secret that he spoke without an order.
What he does with those? There's a shelf of jars.
Leave no trace, Greta.
Yeah, it's a much more sinister spin on it for me.
Can I assume that you all follow, or is there anything else that you would like to say in this room, having discovered the desecration of Strongmouth before you go?
Just
Gradam will just... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
She would just do like a little prayer, like find the head of, and then just do like, so sorry, the bastards.
I think Grim would like to move the hammer back into the smashed hand of Strongmouth.
Yeah, I'm going to allow that. That's really lovely flavour and storytelling. So yeah, talk me through it. What does it look like? Paint me a word picture.
I think if you allow me, Carver, sort of like the sounds of the crackles and the booms that you kind of produce when you're praying sort of have a melodic, sort of slightly ritualistic sound, almost like drums.
Yeah.
And I think just you see this huge rock move over and pick up the hammer and sort of like it doesn't allow it to touch the ground until it is back into the hand of the smosh. And you just see that it's sort of like the pinky lying on the ground, and it's just like the hilt just across the hand.
It brings a tear to Carver's eyes.
And then we hear the thunder.
Yeah.
Well, while this desecration has been put forth, we will bring great honor to Strongmouth today. Fear not, Captain.
I think things just got a little personal, team. Nanny and Carver, take an inspiration, please. That was beautiful. I'm going to move you over as you head downstairs into the belly of the beast. Now, what can you all see?
They're still on the other map, I think.
Oh, yeah? Well, that just won't do, will it? There you go.
Oh, is this tiny room?
Yeah, tiny room is right. And, like, I think as you go downstairs, you will realise you're like this, up by a stone elemental. Yeah, as you find yourself in a very, very tiny room. What would you like to do? You can probably just make out that there's a doorway in front of you.
is there any kind of like crack around the doorway, or is it in fact like perfectly sealed?
It's way more perfectly sealed than my dynamic
Got it.
lighting design probably is.
No problem with that.
Gradam's going to kick the door down.
Okay.
Wait.
And I think that Pinch like flies up next to Gradam and just does like this, and this little like mode of like kind of rainbow light appears on his finger, and he like touches it, and like the rainbow kind of cascades over him, and he'll cast enlarge on you, giant Warforged guy, and be like,
So much elbow room in here.
So I think he just like doubles its size. I think he gets advantage on strength checks, right? The target also has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws to smash doors and etc.
Amazing. So I'm going to say this door goes flying into the center of the room as you all struggle to get out through this doorway, as you now have two giant creatures in the way. I think Philly, you managed to just flitter through very easily, whereas Carver, you get completely wedged, like shoulders together, by these two giants either side of you. You make your way into this room, or as you sort of stare into this room, you see the sputtering flames of the partially burnt out torches, which dimly light this light stone chamber. On the walls, there are ornate murals which depict 6 varieties of giants in various stances, passing on items in a successive order. Stood at attention yet motionless are 4 suits of armor that skirt the edges of the room. Set into the floor is a series of large runes that form an 18-foot diameter. What would you like to do?
I think Granny's quite interested in these runes on the ground.
Okay.
Let's go and have a look at them.
Okay.
I want to touch them.
I'm going to touch
I
him.
just want to look at them.
Just show me where you walk.
Oh. I hate when you say that.
Pinch will flutter in, staying like right at the shoulder of the earth elemental, though like flying up off the ground a solid like 10 feet, but like just right next to Granny wherever she goes here.
Yeah, I go there.
Okay. So, what languages do you speak?
What do I speak? I speak deep speech, druidic, elvish, and also Terran now as well.
Okay. Make a history check.
I keep putting my screen down and then go, oh, I need to get my character sheet back out again. History.
Okay.
History. 13.
13, I would say no, not enough. You're not too sure what what language these runes are in.
Carver's going to come over and help. She's read a lot in her time, in her short life.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
Draconic and Common, and yes, just those 2 apparently.
Okay. If you would also like to, as we've already had a failed check, I will allow you to also make a history check, but it will cost you your inspiration.
Shit, I've got inspiration.
Go for it.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. It's a one shot.
So 16, yeah, I'll say you are aware that these runes are giant, and they give the indication you're a person of religion. Give the indication of an otherworldly being of some sort.
Yeah, I tell everybody else that as well. I feel like someone's going to be watching us very closely in here.
Well, that won't do at all.
Gradam's enlarging spell that happened to him has kind of caused him to break through the wall partly, and now the token of Gradam can't actually be moved anywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was stuck outside the wall for a while. So as he's trying to
can you move it now?
he twists his head off from his shoulders and then pops the shoulders down.
My mistake. Sorry.
Fumbling for where his head is, and then reefs it out, and then twist it back on.
As we're lingering here, unsure what to do, I'm gonna burn my channel divinity to get a spell slot back, because whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this seems to be like a real enemy of our order, right? This building, this flying castle. So, what do we know about them? In terms of this, because it seems to be a very religious place. We know this seems to be giant. Do we know that they're giants?
So the colonel said at the start that this is a giant. The Doom Shadow is a giant's craft. However, the giants would never attack in this way. They would never dream of doing something like this. So it's believed that a group of cultists have taken over, commandeered the Doom Shadow, and are flying it towards your ship with the intention of taking over your ship and then possibly the whole realm. It starts with the Storm Chaser, possibly ends with your home world.
Okay.
So I think Pinch would be wondering, and probably directing towards Gradam the question of what do we know about how these ships fly? We have to knock this thing out of the sky. I think Pinch would be looking to Gradam
do you have any understanding of the interior mechanisms for this thing? Is it no-mission design? Can we blow it up? Are there crystals? Gases? Does it run on candy?
Is going to look directly to Captain Nanny Grimm, and a mechanical eyebrow raises as the bars just go.
Oh, fine, I miss your voice now anyway.
Thank you. Downloading content. Can I do a history check on castles and shit?
Yeah, you
Candy? Sweet. I've got 9 in history.
Ooh,
22.
22. Okay, so you, in the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger, you have detailed files. And those detailed files allow you to know that there is there's a central chamber that or a command chamber that has a control panel inside where you can normally which is responsible for the flying and the craft of the ship. Find the control panel, gain control of it, gain control of the ship.
And would I have the rough layout of a castle building like this?
Yeah.
Would I know which rough direction to go?
I would say that you would know that this is not that room.
Well, duh. Okay.
Right.
Is there any signs of desecration like there was in the Stormhouse room?
No. No, this is fairly well kept, this room. And Rob, I'm going to say north.
Great. It appears that there is a control panel which, once accessed, will be used to navigate and shut down this ship. My sensors indicate that it is north from here. Shall we proceed?
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
a control panel?
Yes.
Well, I know up until now we've been very loyal soldiers, but is there perhaps a possibility that we just take control of this thing and fly off over the sunset, second star to the left?
My objective is to serve.
Imagine if you had an hotel that was flying then, my love.
Are we proceeding?
Does seem we'll have to kill everything between here and there.
But, and she sort of points an arm towards one of these you said it was surrounded by suits of armor.
Yes, in the four corners of the room there are there are just suits of armor stood to attention.
Can I look at them before we leave? Because I want to see... I'm just interested in why they would be here.
Mm-hmm.
And if they look what they look like, essentially, because I want to have a good and detailed look at them. Maybe I do a bit of investigation on them, see if they've got any runes and stuff on them.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Investigation. 21.
21, yeah. As you get closer, you see the faintest shimmer over this suit of armor. And I think there's, I imagine you sort of get this like white glove out and you like run underneath, sort of underneath like the bottom of the chest plate in like a place that you wouldn't normally go for first. But Nanny Grimm's smart, and you start to feel these small runes. You appear that there is probably more to these suits of armor than spring to mind.
So I'm guessing that in our time, we've seen animated armor at some point.
That would be fair.
Yes.
Do these look a little bit like that?
I would say they probably look quite a lot like that, yeah.
All right, my lovers. It's probably best we leave shining armor lie.
And she sort of like taps on its shoulder to sort of like let it sleep, like a tap sleep. And starts going towards where Graham said to go northwards.
To the north. Okay.
Doesn't step inside the runes though. Very superstitious. Because
the writing's on the floor, not the wall.
Yeah.
Goes around the runes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And make your way around.
A trap in here somewhere.
What would the rest of you like to do?
I think Pinch would like fly towards the front of the room and see if there's any way to like peer through a gap underneath the base of the doors or at the seam of it. He wants to like kind of shoot out a divine sense into this room in front of us, but I need to be able to see in there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say make a perception check.
Sure. That's an 8. I see nothing.
I'm afraid not.
That's fine.
Afraid not. This one is probably much better sealed with my dynamic lighting. Here's hoping. I can't see it.
That
Carver.
door that's ahead,
Mm-hmm.
is it just looks like a closed door?
Correct.
Cool. Big Gratum, giant Gratum, is going to go towards it, and he's going to have to stoop down, and then wherever the handle is, he's just going to hold his fist, and then like a kind of jackhammer, it's just going to go on the handle, hoping to just force the handle straight out through the door and into the next room. Like, ain't no country for old men.
Yeah. You're enlarged. I'm not going to make you roll a check. I'm going to say that door opens.
I think the enlarge does only last 1 minute, so I don't know if he like shrinks down now after like blasting the door out. Like,
It's still very large. So he's got like one giant arm that he's dragging.
Yeah. As he's shrinking, like.
Yeah, it's like we almost see like a close up of the punch, and then we pull out and we see that from like the large fist, the rest of Gratum is normal, and it's the last thing to go.
Yeah.
Just settle down to normal size, a bit Popeye style when he eats the spinach in reverse.
As the door is blasted out, he would like divine sense, like peering into the room, taking like a big kind of whiff of the air to see if he senses any type of real unholy evil, celestials, fiends, undead within 60 feet, not behind total cover.
You reach out your senses, and almost like a sonar, it pings back clean.
Well, no fiends lie before us here.
I will search the room for threats. And Gratum's just going to go in. Could you make my token small again? Now that he's not big, I don't like it being a big token.
Yeah, there you go.
There he is, wee little lad. Cool. So he's gonna like kind of Iron Man in.
Great.
It'll go to there. Set traps off on me. Come on, I dare you.
So I'm gonna, as I've just seen onto the stream, we're slightly dependent on Joe. Oh, Joe's here. That's fine. I will read you a little bit of stuff whilst we do so. The low hum of magical energy permeates this space, making hair stand on end while a metallic taste fills your mouth as you enter this chamber. The center of this octagonal room hosts a gaping abyss at its center, through which a sporadic pillar of energy shoots downwards with 6 alcoves evenly spaced around the edge of the room, each with its unique symbol carved at its base. And you notice that the door in front of you is closed.
I am not capable of taste, but if I could, I'm sure it would be metallic anyway. Ha, ha, ha.
Hee.
Yeah.
The room appears clear.
So I'm guessing these runes are also look similar to the ones that we saw on the floor.
Yeah, we established that someone knew that the last ones were giant, that was correct?
Yes.
Carver?
Yes.
Yeah, so Carver recognizes these as giant as you'll make your way into the room. And I'm gonna say you know what these are.
Oh.
You know what these say.
Oh.
So I will start from the top right. From the top right here, it says Uva, which means storm. Going clockwise, this one here, Ild, which means fire. Here, Haug, means hill. Here, sky, means cloud. Here, Stein, means stone. And here, Is, which means frost. And behind each rune is a giant recess shaped like a hand.
Mm. So I think I know what this is, but I don't know if Granny would know what this is. I think because all of those names, I think we fought enough creatures in our time. I don't know, because we seem like seasoned professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They all sound like types of giant.
Mm-hmm.
We've got hill giants, frost giants, fire giants, cloud giants, storm giant, hill giant. What was the other one? The other one.
Sky.
Sky.
And cloud.
And cloud. Mm. And did you say they were like pillars with a hand?
Yes.
Hands.
In the alcove around them, there are giant recesses that are hand shaped. Oh, nice music change.
Let me just check something. I'm wondering if I need to change. I mean, saying that I'm currently like Earth.
Carver is, or can be, storm, frost.
Yeah, wondering if I wonder if Nanny would touch the hand of the stone giant. Was there a stone giant? I can't remember if there was a stone giant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, we might as well. We've been risky so far. I might as well continue being risky.
Okay.
Yeah, just gonna touch the hand as an earth elemental and touch the stone.
That one, I think, is stone, right? Or 9 o'clock.
Stone is 9 o'clock. You are correct.
So that one.
I think Pinch will fly in with her,
And she,
perching on the shoulder of the elemental.
and she turns to him and she says, "My knight
Step back. This may not be good.
And then she touches the handprint.
Okay. And place your hand in, fitting perfectly within the recess, given your size. And energy coalesces around the fingers, downwards, through a channel into the center of the room. As a circle of energy forms through the center, and the two crystals either side begin to glow.
Oh boy.
And then there's a glitch.
Nanny, are you okay?
Ow.
And then there's a fizz.
Uh-oh.
Nanny, get your hand out.
I don't think
And then
she's
there's
fast enough.
Blinding white light from the center of the room, which blinds you all for several seconds. And as your vision clarifies, you look in the center of the room to reveal a lightning elemental.
Oh my.
Another creature created by the sword and board.
Thanks, Stu.
Let us roll initiative,
Oh, God.
everybody.
Oh, jeez.
Gradam, the lightning and everything that's erupted in the room has actually sparked some of his language cores slightly, and he gets zzz, 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 and then language core reprogramming. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Right, let's have you. Let's party.
So good.
So good, Rob. So good. Joe, feel free to move us over to the to some battle music. What else was it that I needed to do here? Oh yeah, that's what I needed to do. Item label.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's
What's-
all the storm stuff is most of what Carver has for spells. Ooh. So meta.
I'm worried about my thunder gauntlets as well.
But it's okay because you have resistance to lightning damage.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huzzah!
Okay. On initiative count 20, I need to roll a d6.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure it's fine. On a 5, so through the center of the room, as we saw this like swirl before into the center, we have a beam of energy that goes from 12 to 6. It goes straight through the room and straight through Gratum. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, that's my strong point. So get ready. Oh shit! Almost got a crit. 21.
Oh, that's very, very good. You are going to take half of this.
He's a dancing machine.
You are going to...
I'm here for dancing, you big bag of piss.
Dancing machine.
So you take eight lightning damage as this beam goes through. It sort of coalesces around the lightning elemental as well. And you... there we go. And it sort of seems to infuse up through the lightning elemental, and it appears stronger now. Sir Pinch Poppy Bloom, what would you like to do?
All right, I think that as like Gradam's fancy footwork is like weaving and darting around the floor, he's just like, let's light this place up, and he's gonna cast Fairy Fire on this lightning elemental. So I'd like a Dex saving throw, DC 17.
Oh, so many things. I'm not rolling to you guys. That was a 24. I've now changed it to public, but you should be able to see that on the stream. That was a 24. Does that save?
Yes, it definitely does. And so he's just like, you slippery bastard! And he zooms past Nanny over here a little bit towards our allies, at which point for his bonus action, he's going to enact his Hexblade's curse. His like dark eyes like focus on this thing, and he's just like, oh, you know not what pain awaits you, unholy storm monster. That's my turn. I'm just chilling. It's
amazing.
Action, bonus action, chill.
Gratum. It's your turn.
Right, we're going into overdrive now. And he presses his chest, and like a ring of light starts to circle and circle and circle and faster as he casts haste on himself.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Let's party. So he's just gonna fucking run up to him. I mean, it's a lightning elemental. I'm guessing it's going to be immune to thunder, but we're going to see what happens with my thunder gauntlets. So he's going to go on for one hit. 28. Ka-chow.
Okay, 28 hits.
For... Oh, I don't have the big fist enlarged damage anymore. Sorry. I threw that in. So just 6 thunder. Is that?
It does nothing, I'm afraid.
Ah, you wee bastard! Well, I did hit, so it's going to have disadvantage on anyone else. And then there's no point doing an extra attack, but I do get an extra action, so I'll use 2 shoulder-mounted cannons pop up as he's going to cast magic missile on it as well. And this could be for all 3.
Hasted action, is that a specific action? Does it have to be an attack?
It has to be an attack, but he could do it the other way, where he uses his regular action for the magic missile, the hasted action for the thunder gauntlets, right?
Yeah. I'll allow that.
Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah.
Great!
Let's see it.
So that's for 1,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for 3, so that's 2, and that's 3.
Amazing. So 10 damage in total. 10 force damage. Yeah, it absorbs the magic missiles come in. It does damage, but you see them just and absorb in to this lightning elemental.
Sweet. And that is Gratum.
Have you got an even higher AC now?
I sure do, Dan.
Good lord. Carver.
Hi. Okay,
Hi.
so Carver is going to cast Destructive Wave.
Okay, put it in the chat, please. Okay, so you need a con saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
You got involved with the bad sword elemental. You shouldn't have been here after the midst of that desecration.
So it fails.
Fabulous. So so obviously I'm going to assume it doesn't take the thunder damage.
So the thunder damage passes straight through, but is it
Cool.
radiant or necrotic?
Oh, I'm in a mood. Necrotic damage.
Oh, yeah. And we see these like dark spots start to appear amongst the thunder as it absorbs into this elemental form. Very, very nice. What else would you like to do?
I'm going to move a little bit more towards the side.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. It is the lightning elemental's turn. All right, so the lightning elemental is going to move over the top of Gratum, and Sir. I keep wanting to say Sir. Is Sir Pinch, isn't it? I keep wanting to say Sir Pounce because that's from Game of Thrones. And is going to use its Storm Wave. Need a DC 13 Constitution save, please, from both Gratum and Sir Pinch.
You got it. You get +5 to your saving throw, Gratum, for my little fairy dust paladin aura.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Both of you pass with an absolute vengeance. You both take 10 lightning damage, and that is all. All right, Nanny Grim.
All right then. So I think I'm gonna go straight. I'm gonna move to here, get some flanking, and I'm supposed to go in for a couple of hits.
Yeah.
So,
Go for it.
Just so you know, my I think my weapons are. Oh no, they're not. Hang on, don't worry about that. One. Ooh.
Oh, that's a crit! I'll drink that. I love it so hard, Philly.
And we'll go for the second one. Alright, so we'll see what this does. 1.
Hit me with that big damage.
And 2.
Tale of 2 damage rolls.
Yeah.
So 9. So that's 11, 32, 41.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, the you can see as like the crumble of the lightning elemental is starting to fracture as like parts of it start to drop. The shadow, the clouds at the bottom start to almost engulf it slightly as you've done some pretty hefty damage to this beastie. Very, very nice.
Sorry.
Very, very nice.
And I think she'll look into the eyes of the elemental. So give me 1 second. Yeah, so she'll look into the eyes of the elemental and just look down at them and just go,
Ooh, elemental.
"Wait, hang on, what are we doing?" And then she kind of like goes,
Amazing. As that happens, the center of the room glows again. I don't know why we're on initiative count 40 now, but who cares? It's not going to change much. As the beam shoots through the room again, Gratum, can I have another dexterity saving throw, please?
You can, of course, pal. So you
Plus
said
5.
+5, so 21. Wait, yeah, 21.
Very nice. Very, very nice. And it dissipates. It shoots around the lightning elemental, comes to hit you, and dissipates as you dodge out of the way. Sir Pinch, your turn.
I think that for my bonus action, let's do this. I'm casting Hex.
Struggling to hear you a little bit.
Oh no!
There you go. There's that beautiful voice.
So on my bonus action, I'm casting Hex as I come like sailing over top this lightning elemental. I'm gonna actually wheel around over here, and I shall unload like 2 fists clenched on his tiny little sword. He starts cleaving. I guess I'm giving it disadvantage on strength checks if that matters. Oh, how did that happen?
What the hell happened there?
Totally incorrect. I don't know.
So you're
Let me try that
an 8
again.
minus 20.
I don't know why it did that. That was very strange. Do you want to keep the roll of 8? You tell
No.
me.
Minus 3. No, I do not. That second one hits.
Okay, 18. That hits for 18 points of damage.
Is this considered a magical attack?
Gosh, so the weapon's not, but the hex is.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna like smite it anyway,
Okay.
which was a terrible smite.
So I'm going to say the hex does full damage. You see the hex take hold. The smite, all 2 of the damage hits.
Yeah,
the actual
really.
slash itself, though, doesn't do as much damage as
No, it does
you
not.
thought. Sort of like seems to screech off the edge. We are going to overtime again, people. That seems to be my shtick.
He's going to just do that again, Dan.
All right.
Second attack.
Yes.
He's just like sailing around on top of this thing, chopping away. Yup, 24 hits for another 6 plus 5 hex damage is 11. That's his turn.
Lovely. This thing is starting to break apart as we go to Gradam.
I'm going to go for another magic missile attack on it. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's another 10.
10.
And then I'm gonna go for another, even though it's not doing any use damage wise, I'm gonna go for another thunder gauntlet, so it keeps giving it disadvantage on anyone attacking anyone else. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Great. Right, that is that's all I can do for now, I'm afraid.
It's your turn as we go to Carver.
Carver's going to bring her mace in both her hands and she's going to raise it up and strike the ground, casting Toll of the Dead.
Ooh, very nice. You need a save from me, don't you?
A wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Not known to be the most wise thunderstorms with a 2. So I've already taken damage. So you rolled 2d12.
13.
Oh, 13. This thing, the big bell just like surrounds it, and this huge gong strikes through. This thing is wheeling around. It is on an absolute knife edge, but it is still standing as it comes to its turn, with it having eyes only for Gratum. It's going to make its multi-attack. It's 2 arch. 23 to hit.
Miss.
And 14.
I always felt there were sparks between us. Comfort me now. Ha ha ha.
And that is the elemental's turn. Sorry, that is the lightning elemental's turn as we go to Nanny.
Yeah, it kind of worked last time, so I'm just going to go straight in with the fists again.
Yeah, it did all right last time, didn't
I
it?
get advantage on this as well, don't I? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, surrounded.
Ooh, 14.
14 misses.
And 21.
21 hits.
Or 14 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, tell me what it looks like.
So, I think the first one kind of comes in and doesn't actually hit them, but instead sort of like holds onto them as the electricity kind of goes down the stone of the earth. And then the other hand comes in and just slams in as it sort of like tries to squeeze it together to kind of create this kind of little explosion of lightning. And it just goes boom. It sort of explodes in her hand, exploding the arms off of the elemental, destroying the elemental in the process. But what's left is sort of a standing granny. As she sort of stood there, sort of like hunkered down on the ground, sort of blackened, her hair is all kind of up in the air. She kind of gets up, pulls a cigar from out of her jacket, and goes to light it off her own hair. It's on fire.
Love it.
She's so cool.
I think that as it dies, I had Hexblade's curse on it, so I think like some of the lightning, like Pinch probably like absorbs into his sword, and he has this like quiet like shudder as he gets 7 hit points back from that thing dying, and then similarly he'll reach into his breast pocket and take out like a very fancy cigarette case, which he opens and like taps, like biting down, except that I think it's a cinnamon stick, right? Which he like would lean down to light off old Granny's hair, like.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Wonderful, wonderful flavor. The flavor of cinnamon. Very, very festive for the October months. Sorry about that, Joe. I was trying to make you a little. You said, did you not say that Nanny Grimm had gone? Sorry, Nanny Grimm had returned.
Yeah. I just can't see anything on the screen at the moment.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's just gone for the whole of Roll20, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should have visions. Apologies, everyone. Bear with me.
As the haste fades from Gratum,
Yeah, thanks, man.
and the wheel starts to slowly spin down, he starts to twitch a little bit. Language core restored. Apologies for my previous actions and accent. I am now returned to normal. Thank you.
As the dust settles, you hear the door to the north just slowly creep open. And you start to just hear a low What would you like to do, team?
That was very resonant in my headphones there. I don't know about the rest of you.
Yeah.
That was like all consuming.
It was like a full body vibration right there. Shall we ahead, captains?
Yes.
Robot?
We
Yes.
shall. I'm going to assume that you didn't just walk in that big hole.
No.
So you make your way in. As you make your way in, I'm going to bring you, just bear with me, I'm going to bring you up here, because this is a ledge. So, this large 50-foot high chamber houses the central control panel for the Skycastle. A central plinth stands in the middle, 30 foot in height. Wrapping around it, a set of spiral stairs which ascend to the top, upon which sit a carved marble surface of giant runes, which flow with dim arcane light. Around the control panel is a flickering dome of arcane energy. Around the plinth, looking from the observation deck, stand 2 red draconic brutes whose eyes are fixed on any potential incoming threats that may emerge from between the pillars. Assisting them are 5 hooded humanoids bearing religious vestments, each of them of a different hue reminiscent of the colors of the chromatic dragons. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Insect Plague.
Okay, where would you like to cast Insect Plague, and what the hell does it do?
In between the 2 big dudes at the back.
Amazing. Have you got the range on that?
I do.
Can you put it in the chat so I can... Oh, the 300-foot spell. Swarming biting locusts fill a 20-foot radius. Sensed on a point. This remains for the duration. Difficult terrain when the area disappears. Joe, could you put another 20-foot radius on the screen for me while I do some con saves for these brutes? Thank you very much. Oh, and a cultist. Okay. And 2 cultists. Where are they? Draconic brutes. Here we are. So many things now. 1 passes. Fails. So left and right. Would you want to do the damage for me, Jess?
Oh, yes, with pleasure. 40-10.
40-10.
Nice.
Tell me what it is, because I'm doing other things.
Um.
How much does it say?
Yeah, so it's 20 piercing damage, half if you passed.
Okay, so I'm going to need to move that onto there, and this one goes down by this one passed, so it goes down to this, and this one failed. Oh, so it goes down to this, and these two are dead. Shall we all roll initiative, everyone?
You want to clear the tracker, or does it matter?
Oh, no, you are correct. Thank you. All right.
Problems.
Let's roll initiative.
Carver's in a mood, guys.
Carver is in a mood.
I love it that you're in this mood, Captain.
You don't get to mess around with religions.
Yeah, things got desecrated and Carver got mad.
Yes, just a little.
I actually rolled 18.
That's okay.
I can't
All
get
right,
my
so-
character up.
You can't get your character up?
No.
Have I given you...
I'm going to try refreshing.
Okay, I'm wondering if I gave you the wrong Nanny Grimm.
Maybe the
My worry.
circle one rather than the square one.
Okay, should I put them back on the board and see what happens? So when I go to represent character, there's just two things that say Nanny Grimm now.
Yeah, the circle one, not the square one.
It's just two names when it says represents character on the token.
Oh, I see. Give me a second. I'll just delete the square one.
All right.
Let's have a look.
Thank you to everyone who is continuing to join in. I know we've gone to overtime for the second week in a row. You're all amazing people, and I have big love for you.
You can blame me, Dan. It's probably my fault.
Could you pop my... I think... Oh, I can't move my token. I'm sorry.
Hang on. You good? Can you move them now?
I got it.
Great. I'll make them small for you.
Oh no, don't worry about that one. I've got the one by the stairs. It's all fine.
Oh, you got the one by the stairs. You good?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Never liked this Nanny Grimm anyway. All right.
Yeah.
We all in?
You're not my granny.
Why can't I do this? For some reason, it's not letting me change the turn order. So we're going to go top of the turn order is Carver as I reset my roll 20.
Plus.
What would you like to do?
You just have a look at my range. Oh, that's good.
Is it 300 feet by any chance?
They might wish it was.
The music, it's so
Okay,
dramatic.
so I'm going to call lightning.
Yeah, okay. Where to? Same spot?
Yeah, pretty much same spot. It has, I believe, a 60-foot radius.
Oh, 60-foot radius. Okay, so that's basically everyone, right?
Mhm.
All right.
Each bolt's a 5-foot blast, is that right, or no?
Oh, yes, it's a 60-foot radius for where you blast it. So if you do it next time, you can do it within the 60 foot. Is that correct? But it's a 5-foot blast. Let me have a look. Each creature within 5 foot at that point. Yeah, so you can pick one brute or the other.
Say that again.
You can pick one brute or the other because it is in a 60-foot radius, but you can only do single spots in that radius as you go.
Okay. Yes. One brute, the one on the left.
One on the left. Okay, so you need from me a dexterity saving throw. Failed. All right, send me some damage. Send me that sweet damage.
It's 9.
9. Lovely. Is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
Sir Pinch enters the fray.
Right, I think he's just like, oh, you're doomed now. And he just will come like zooming forward towards them. What do I got? 40 feet of movement. Gets me to like here, heal, bonus action, Misty Step, pop off a 2nd level spell slot to like come in right between these fools, wheeling on the one to the north. He just like dives down with the sword clutched in 2 hands. 2 quick strikes, 15 and 20. Do those both hit?
They both hit.
Okay, here's the first one is going to be, I'm sorry, no hex damage, only 12 points of slashing damage. And then the second one, he will smite at 2nd level. So it's going to be 3d8. I got to like use these spell slots well. So that's 18 plus 12. That's 30 points of damage altogether.
To just one?
Yeah.
Oh god, this just tell me how you spread this person across this floor.
Yeah, I think it's very like clean and merciful, actually, thankfully. Just 2 like razor strikes across his throat, and he turns like winking at the other one, like, I'll save you for my friends, ha ha, and like will fly forward another like couple of feet, provoking an attack of opportunity if you want there, Dan, as he comes like darting towards this big guy at the edge of the storm. That's my turn.
Okay, with the club. 7. Nah.
You hapless fool.
Okay, Draconic Brutes. Is that your turn, Philly?
Yes, indeed.
Is that your full turn? Amazing.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right.
I'm going to see Pinch in my nightmares tonight, I'm fairly sure.
I'm going to save you from my friends.
So, Draconic Brutes are going to surround Sir Pinch.
That's scary too, my friends.
And they are going to... they're going to do a multi-attack. So the one on the left goes first with the claws. 14.
You dogs.
No, that's a miss.
23.
That'll hit.
For 11 bludgeoning damage.
Got it.
And the one on the right, 26.
Yeah, I may have
25. For a further 23.
Damage. So he just gets like knocked around like a ping pong ball for a second. Fairy dust like falling pathetically as he's like laughing, I think madly. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they both just sarcastically start clapping their hands. As we go on to Gratum.
Gratum hits his chest again as the wheel starts to spin. The light goes faster. Language core disrupt you. Right, let's fucking go! As he's gonna use his haste to get 60 feet to there. And these fuckers, they are not immune to thunder damage, so let's get pummeling.
Mm-hmm. Show
So,
me.
first, Kachowski's 27, that's gonna hit.
Yeah, that hits.
For 8 thunder damage.
Yes, sir.
Extra attack along with that, another 27. Love it, love that number. 10. I get another attack, but I think it says it's only 1. I don't get to do an extra attack with that.
Yeah, you get an extra...
One weapon
You get an extra attack,
only.
not an extra action.
Yes, sweet, fine. Ka-chow! 24.
24 hits.
For 7.
7. Oh, he's looking bad.
So this fucker is going to have disadvantage unless he attacks me.
Very nice.
Right, you scaly prick. Pick on someone your own size.
Oh, what was that for?
For my hacks, which I'm concentrating on, so I seem to have held it.
Okay, sweet.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're all good. Sorry, Gratum, is that your turn?
That is Dan, yes. That is,
yeah. Sorry for stamping on your Scots.
It's okay, don't worry.
Nanny Grim.
Ring a roses, a pocket full of posies. as she sort of like draws a circle in her palm, and as her finger sort of goes around and around and around, it begins to kind of create this like black char circle from her nail going over her hand over and over again, as she casts Wall of Fire as to be as a circle to hit both of those demonic brutes, and essentially circling around Sir Pinchy. So not Pinchy, my apologies, Sir Pinch, and then sort of like they're all going to take sort of damage from the fire, essentially.
And it's one-sided, isn't it? So I'm guessing you're doing it on the outer rim.
Mm-hmm. So it just kind of goes around, leaving him secure and safe.
Like that?
Yeah, pretty much. A little bit bigger, but about that. So I want it to go through them, like halfway between them. Because it can be up to 20-foot radius, so I kind of want to get them.
Okay, I don't know how I can. I don't know if I can click that anymore, Joe. Sorry, but we'll imagine it's theatre of the mind.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Cast it at 5th level as well.
Nice.
So can I get a dexterity saving throw, please?
Dexterity saving throws.
Ooh.
Pass and fail.
Okay, cool. So the one who... I can't believe I got 1 on that. So the one who failed takes 26 fire damage.
That's what you'd think. But as you look, both these red draconic brutes are now engulfed in flame, and if anything, it only perceives to make them a little bit stronger as they take no damage.
I'm going to drop concentration on that instantly.
Fair. I'm not going to get rid of that because, quite frankly, I don't know how. Let's just imagine that's gone because it's right in the middle of all the things.
Right.
Is that your turn?
Really much else I can do at this stage. The 5th. No, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Cover.
I'm gonna run.
Oh,
you're gonna run.
30 feet. So there.
Have you guys just been dropping down off here?
No, flying.
Oh, everyone's flying. Oh, I thought that's why I went that way, because everyone else went that way.
Sorry.
That's all right. Take a 2d6 if you want to drop.
No, I'll go over here.
Okay.
I've already had one failed thing. I don't want to have another.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Carver. What are you saying?
I'm just gonna call lightning on that one.
Can you move it? Are you able to move your spot once you've cast it?
Don't think so, but it's a 60-foot radius anyway.
Oh yeah, of course it is. It's massive. I'm looking at the 20.
Your storm, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you need? A dex save from me?
Yes.
Does it say anything
Does a
about
3
conductive?
pass?
3.
Yeah.
No.
Conductive what, Rob?
I'm just very aware that Gratum is quite like a fucking lightning rod. Does it say anything about like conductive metals or anything, does it?
Don't believe
Love
it does.
to see it.
Magical lightning. It's okay.
Okay, good.
All right. So tell me what that looks like.
20.
Yeah. Tell me what it looks like
lightning.
as you kill this red draconic brute.
Oh, she's roaring.
She's roaring.
So she's going to bring her mace down to the side of the stairs and just slam it into the stone as it destroys him.
And as you bring out this giant roar, the ground begins to shake. Everyone around you is convinced that this is from Carver until you look around between these pillars and you see a hulking, enormous adult red dragon on a ledge beyond the pillars. Its imposing form held at bay by the wall of stone barriers which stand between the dragon and yourselves. Descending from the back of this massive creature is the frail figure of a humanoid wearing similar vestments. However, these bear each of the 5 chromatic colours. In their hand, a book from which they read as they begin to cast a spell. I'm just going to quickly throw these peeps in the turn order. I won't be long. Hang on. As we go to Sir Pinch.
Well.
I think that I will shift my hex with the bonus action onto the rider on this dragon, if I may, granting them disadvantage on, I don't know, strength ability scores. At which point, gosh, this is hairy. I'm gonna just zoom around here next to this big guy, like calling back to the others, like, they've brought a dragon, and then we'll make 2 strikes at this fool in front of me. 28 and 27.
Yeah, they both hit.
For 22 points of damage in total.
Oh, he's looking rough.
I'm like slashing around this guy's face here. And I think that's probably me holding my action right here. Or that's my turn, rather. Yeah.
Lovely. The Draconic Brute, he has a chance to respond. He's going to multi-tack at you with the claws. 20 and 26.
20, both hit.
11 and 11.
Okay, I'm making con checks for Hex. I make both. I take 22 points of damage. I'm officially looking hurt.
Ooh, you start to see just little bits of the wings start to speckle off from your tiny friend as we head over.
I'm a bit battered.
So you said the adult dragon had a rider.
Yeah.
And that person was about to cast a spell.
That person did cast a spell.
Oh, did cast a spell?
Yeah, before they jumped into the initiative order, they cast a spell.
I see. Okay. Fuck it, I'm just gonna help my good friend Pinch out.
Is it in your custom to pick on fairies? Well, pick on a big metal prick like me instead.
As Gradam is going to go for Thunder Gauntlets. Kachowskis. Would you say that's
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Throw in the crit for the crack. Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's just say I moved around to Frank's position.
That's fine.
Let's do it for the sake. There. No, I'm there. Happy days.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's another one coming for you. Number 2, you big Billy fucking super sausage man.
22 hits. Oh, tell me what it looks like.
It's
swinging, it's clean off.
and the arm actually dislocates from the elbow and just launches without Gradam realizing. And it's not the fist that hits him; it's like the elbow that's kind of flying through the air and just and falls as the loose arm then like rockets around back into Gradam's elbow again. But I still have movement, so let's get cracking. And I'm going to use it to get right up in the face of this wizardy prick.
Okay.
Wow. Let's fucking go, and I'm going to use my last attack action to fucking thunder punch you in the face, you thunder. We can't say it on stream, but you know what I meant. Yeah, baby!
Oh, yes!
It's me and you! We're going for a party!
Oh, yeah. Show me, like...
12.
12 thunder damage.
And now you have disadvantage on anyone but me.
Okay. Sort of reels back and shakes his head and just holds his hand either to one side. He's kind of focused on you, but also focused. Their focus is also elsewhere. Very nice. Go on. You got more things?
Yeah, it's a bit of a bonus action. So I'm just going to use another defensive shield and put that back up to 10 again. And that's me done.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. What am I going to do here? So the mage is going to cast a spell and is going to move to here. The dragon looks down at you, looks at all of you, and I would like all of you that can see the dragon, to make a wisdom save.
Bloop. I'm going to throw a Flash of Genius on that.
Which makes it 18.
18, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else?
18.
Sir Pinch, can you see the dragon?
Nope, I'm
can't.
line of sighted on this column.
Amazing. Everyone else is frightened of the dragon. It uses its frightful presence. Here you go. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turn, and all of that good, fearful things. As the dragon looks down at you, Grayson, and takes a big, deep breath in, as it fires its fire breath. Can I please get a DC 21 dexterity saving throw?
Absolutely. Dex. Oh.
Not even my fairy dust could help that.
I'm going to use my reaction to absorb elements, though.
Okay, what am I doing wrong here? 18d6. So you're going to take half of that?
Take half of that, yeah. So 32. Grant.
32.
Yeah.
Guys, I might have to do something a little bit unorthodox here. And
Go
I
on.
might have to pause this here. A big breath from the dragon.
I get to play him again?
You get to play him again. Because I'm running seriously over, and there is an end in sight to this game, but it might not be for a little while, and I'm very aware that people have lives and jobs and commitments and things like that, myself included. I am included in this, and I do have to be up early in the morning, and I'm very sorry that we have to end on this knife edge. I will hold it here. I will keep the turn order up. I will do all this good stuff.
You want to describe that big breath as an end?
So the dragon rears backwards, and this huge beam of molten red fire energy heads down. Grayson does that thing that kind of the Boston Dynamics goalkeeper tries to do, and tries to jump out the way, but just lays down. And just gets engulfed in these flames. And as it clears, we see this bright, glowing red. As the metal glows, but it's not just glowing because it's warm. It's glowing because the elements are being absorbed. Please, Gretton, tell me what that does and how that looks as you absorb some of these elements.
So his chest actually opens, like his breastplate almost opens, which reveals a kind of very large, kind of like cavernous space within. And as he takes in the fire, small tubes that outline the side of his body start to glow ember red hot, as his eyes have now gone to a full infernal red. As he goes,
You call that fire? I'll show you fire!
As you look up and you realized that the mage has disappeared from the back of the dragon, as we fade to black. Oh, it's on a knife edge. It's on a knife edge. And I tell you what, as you shout, before we fade to black, actually, I'll leave you one more thing. As you shout that, you look past the dragon out into the horizon, and your rage turns to slight horror as within view you can see your craft. It is not far from the Doom Shadow, is not too far away now from the Storm Chaser, and you know that you have not much time. And that's where we're going to leave it. I am really sorry to cut this on a knife edge and all of a sudden. I am aware, like I say, that we've gone 45 minutes over, which is absolutely becoming my shtick. We will find some time to continue this. We'll get everyone back together because I want to continue finishing telling this epic battle, this epic tale from Stu and from Benj at Sword and Board. Please, please, please head to www.swordandboard.co.uk. If anyone with mod privileges would like to put that in the chat, that is great. What I'm going to do in the interest of getting off a little bit sooner, we will do plugs for everyone because everyone has plugs to do. We will do that next time, if that's okay with all of you. All right. Well, thank you so much for everyone that was watching. Big love to all of you. Check our social media for when we're going to do this next, when we're going to complete this finale. This has been Dragonwing from Sword and Board and Sabotage the DM, and have a lovely, lovely night from all of us. Big love.
Big love.
Bye.
Farewell.